Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and today we are going to analyze the Hindu newspaper for 11th of August 2022. तो आज हम 11 अगस्त 2022 का न्यूज़पेपर एनालाइज करने जा रहे हैं and I hope that you also have from your side revised the current affairs that we have already covered on this channel, and I am hoping that you have also read the newspaper yourself, because this is a revisionary lecture wherein we are going to take up important articles from the newspaper and we are going to separate them from the perspective of prelims and mains, and then we are going to analyze them. So let's get started. On page 1 we have this picture: Justice Lalit appointed as the 49th Chief Justice of India. So Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, you must have heard his name, UU Lalit ji. He has been appointed as the 49th Chief Justice of India. Now our President Draupadi Murmu, she also signed his warrant of appointment. And after Justice N.B. Ramana, he demitted his office and he recommended the name of Justice UU Lalit, and he was appointed as the Chief Justice of India. We know that right now Justice UU Lalit is the senior most judge in the Supreme Court. When we talk about the position of Chief Justice of India, there is a separate chapter on in the Indian M. Lakshmikant polity book, and you have to study that chapter. आपको ना Chief Justice ऑफ इंडिया के बारे में सेपरेट जो चैप्टर है एम लक्ष्मीकांत की किताब का वो पढ़ना है. सी वॉट एवर यू रीड इन द न्यूज़पेपर रिगार्डिंग द पॉलिटी टॉपिक और रिगार्डिंग इकोनॉमिक्स टॉपिक, you take out those topics and search it in your static books and cover that chapter then and there only. That is how you complete your syllabus before exam. आप एग्जाम से पहले सिलेबस कैसे कंप्लीट करते हो? जो भी आर्टिकल न्यूज़पेपर में देखते हो, जो टॉपिक आपको स्टैटिक से मैच होता हुआ अपनी किताब में दिख रहा है, वो उठा के वहीं के वहीं पढ़ के नोट्स बना डालो. इससे आपका सिलेबस टाइम से पहले खत्म हो जाता है. ओके, सो नाउ वी नो दैट द मेमोरेंडम ऑफ प्रोसीजर ऑफ द अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज, इट सेज दैट अपॉइंटमेंट टू द ऑफिस ऑफ सीजेआई, दिस चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के ऑफिस में जो अपॉइंटमेंट होती है, इट शुड बी ऑफ द सीनियर मोस्ट जज ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट हु इज कंसिडर्ड फिट to hold the office mentally also, physically also. ऐसे सीनियर मोस्ट जज को हमें अपॉइंट करना चाहिए जो बिल्कुल पूरी तरीके से फिट है उस पोजीशन को होल्ड करने के लिए. So here the memorandum of procedure of appointment of Supreme Court judge basically is here specifying the role of senior most judge, and the process starts with the Union Law Minister asking for recommendation of the outgoing CJI. So outgoing CJI here was Justice N.V. Ramana. So here Union Law Minister asked him that please give your recommendation. Who shall be the next Chief Justice of India as per your recommendation? आप किसको चूज करोगे? आपका क्या recommendation है, सुझाव है कि next senior most judge कौन होना चाहिए जिसको CJI की position दी जाए? And then the minister has to seek the CJI's recommendation at the appropriate time also. But the problem here is that this memorandum through which the appointment of Supreme Court judges is done, this memorandum does not specify a timeline, right, when the recommendation is required from the outgoing CJI. तो ये यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा ना फिर confusion हो जाता है, delay in process of appointing CJI हो जाता है, because the timeline or the time at at which or by which the recommendation has to be received, that is not specified in the memorandum. The President of India, in exercise of the power conferred by clause 2 of article 124. This is important for prelims. Now prelims 2023 students, because we have gotten our first the 49 CJI. So here this is very important. They can definitely ask 2 to 3 questions. If not 3, 2 questions can be definitely asked in your preliminary examination in 2023 from this topic only. So please make sure that you are taking down the notes and revising them repeatedly. Please make sure that you also understand article 124. Article 124 के अंदर specifically clause 2 gives the power to the President of India to appoint Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Judge of Supreme Court, as the Chief Justice of India. And Justice Uday Umesh Lalit will take over as the 49th Chief Justice. So that also you have to remember. 27 अगस्त के दिन ये अपनी oath लेंगे, शपथ लेंगे as the 49th Chief Justice of India. He will become the second Chief Justice of India to be directly elevated to the Supreme Court from the bar after Justice S.M. Sikri, who served as a 13th CJI in 1971. तो directly Supreme Court bar इनको Chief Justice position पे elevate किया जा रहा है. ये ऐसे second Chief Justice of India है. Because प्रीवियस आपके 13 CJI के साथ भी यही हुआ था, उनको भी डायरेक्टली एलिवेशन पोस्ट में ये प्रमोशन मिला था. Justice Lalit has served as a member of the Supreme Court Legal Service Committee for 2 terms. And do you remember the Ayodhya case? At that case, he reclused himself, or you can say recused himself from the ongoing you can say केस ऑन दी अयोध्या इशू. क्योंकि रिक्यूज मतलब क्या होता है कि देखो, जब आप इनको लगता है कि हमारा कोई वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट होगा इस केस में, तो हम अपने आप को पीछे कर लेते हैं. ऐसे जजेस का मानना है कि अगर हम वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट हो किसी केस में और फिर भी उस केस में जजमेंट हम डिसाइड करें, तो दैट वुड बी पार्शियल. सो इफ द जज हैज अ वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट इन अ पर्टिकुलर केस, देन ही recuses himself, takes himself out from the case. And Justice Lalit also did the same in the Ayodhya case. So basically he wanted that the case verdict should come out as non-partial or non-biased. Okay. The memorandum here, this memorandum, procedure of appointment of Supreme Court judges memorandum, says the receipt of recommendation of CJI is necessary for making the appointment. सबसे पहले हमें recommendation चाहिए from the outgoing CJI. Then the Union Law Minister, Justice and Company Affairs will put up the recommendation to the PM. So here N.V. Ramana sir gave his recommendation to the Union Minister of Law, and Minister of Law placed that recommendation in front of the Prime Minister. Then the Prime Minister advises the President, right, that I have received the recommendation of this person. He is a very qualified, highly qualified person, and we should elect him as the CJI. And the President of India, when he or she finds that the recommendation is genuine, the person is highly qualified, he deserves the position, then the President appoints that person as the CJI. Very easy. First, outgoing CJI gives the recommendation to Minister of Law and Company Affairs. Then Minister of Law places that recommendation in front of Prime Minister. Prime Minister advises President to select that person as the CJI in the matter of appointment, and the President finally, after going through the recommendation and the qualification, he or she elects the person as the CJI. This is the entire procedure that you need to remember. And President does this as per the clause 2 of Article 124. Very easy to remember. Now when you revise it, it becomes more and more easy every day. But if you just study today and do not touch this topic for next 1 month or 1.5 months, then you will forget about it. So make sure that you revise it. So when it comes to the appointment of CJI, the Constitution grants power to President. I told you under which article? Article 124 clause 2, to nominate and with advice and consent of Parliament to appoint a Chief Justice, which this Chief Justice serves until they reach the age of 65 or until they are removed by impeachment. Now here they are saying that Chief Justice Lalit will be serving as CJI for the next 3 to 4 months only, because he will be turning 65 very soon. November में इनका birthday आता है, तो 65 in November में ही हो जाएंगे, तो कुछ ही months के लिए CJI अभी बने हैं. Okay. Now the next important article, Supreme Court to take a plea to ban convicts from polls for life. So there is a petition that has been filed in the Supreme Court, and that petition says that the convicts, basically who have been charged with corruption or any other crime, they should be banned from conducting, participating in any polls forever. यानी कि जब तक उनकी life है, तब तक उनको इलेक्शन में खड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए अगर उन्होंने कोई क्राइम कमिट किया है, बेसिकली टू डिक्रीज द क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स इन इंडिया. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर पेपर 2, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एथिक्स पेपर एंड द एसे पेपर. प्लीज पे अटेंशन इन दिस टॉपिक. सो द सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड दैट यस, वी विल कंसिडर दिस पिटीशन. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम इस पिटीशन को देखेंगे नहीं, हम देखते हैं. वी आर गोइंग टू लुक इनटू इट एंड सून वील पास सर्टेन जजमेंट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. The Supreme Court is going to consider this petition. Basically, this petition raises a very logical argument. That is why Supreme Court is entertaining this petition. वरना तो होता क्या है, अगर logicless petition फाइल होती है तो Supreme Court penalty charge करता है और petition को रद्द कर देता है. But because this petition raises certain logical argument, Supreme Court is going to consider it. The argument is that even a constable can lose his job after conviction. भाई constable भी अगर किसी तरीके का charge उस पे लग गया हो ना, तो उस corruption का चार्ज लग गया हो अगर, तो क्या होता है, उसकी जॉब चली जाती है. एंड हियर यू आर freely allowing those convicts who have been charged with corruption or any other crime to stand in elections, right? So that is illogical. So that is why Supreme Court said that this argument is logical, and we are going to look into this case. Now this petition is basically seeking a lifetime ban on people convicted of offences from contesting elections and becoming MPs and MLAs. Now here we need to understand about one very important provision of the Representation of People Act of 1951, that is disqualification. Now what kind of disqualification is given under RPA 1951? The period of prison sentence and 6 years thereafter. जितना भी prison sentence या जेल की सजा हुई है उसके बाद का भी 6 साल जेल में काटेंगे जो भी RPA Act के तहत डिस्क्वालीफाई हुए हैं लोग. Now, when we talk about criminalization of politics, what does this mean? Criminalization of politics means political control of police. When you are controlling police using your political power, political control of the state's finances or state's money. कि भाई स्टेट के पास पैसा है उसे लोगों के वेलफेयर में लगाने के बजाय आप उसे अपने हित के लिए यूज कर रहे हो. Corruption, weak laws, lack of ethics, lack of morals, values, then vote bank politics that happens in every elections, loopholes in function of election commission during major elections. All of these are the examples of criminalization of politics. Now the question is, when we know that this is wrong, when we know that convicts should never be allowed to stand in the elections, then why still the tainted candidates are included in political parties? फिर ऐसा क्यों होता है जब हमें भली भांति पता है कि भाई जिसने भी किसी तरीके का गलत काम किया है वो इंसान MP या MLA या किसी भी तरीके का लीडर बनने के लिए फिट नहीं है, तो हम उसको इलेक्शन में क्यों खड़ा कर होने देते हैं, क्यों पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज इंक्लूड करती है उन्हें? The first reason is innocent until proven guilty maxim. This is a maxim used in law, right? Indian law में ये maxim use होता है, saying use होती है कि जब तक गिल्टी प्रूव नहीं किया गया तब तक वो बेगुनाह है. Until you and unless you have been proven guilty, you are innocent. Now in some cases yes it is helpful, but in other cases where the convict has so much you can say heavy amount of money or wealth or property, then he can prove himself innocent even if he is not. In that case any accused is innocent until proven guilty. Using this maxim, the political parties includes the wealthy and very prosperous convicts into their political parties. And then because they have money, because they have wealth, because they have fame and name, right? So basically आपकी इनकी विक्ट्री भी प्रोस्पेक्टेड होती है. जिस भी एरिया से ये लड़ रहे हैं वहां पर इतना पैसा ये लेकर बैठे हैं कि लोगों को मुफ्त या तो डरा रहे हैं वोटर्स को, या फिर वहां पैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहे हैं, टीवी फ्री में चीजें डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रही हैं. तो उससे क्या होता है, विक्ट्री इनकी सुनिश्चित हो जाती है, भारी मात्रा में वोट मिल जाता है, तो पार्टीज इनको इंक्लूड कर लेती हैं. देन दे हैव vested interest. Political parties also need funding, and when the candidate, whether he or she is tainted, he or she has money, political parties have their vested interest and they include those candidates into their parties because of their prospected victory, because of the popularity, because they can finance their own elections, they have the money, the wealth, the power, right? The people power. So in that case the political parties they do not look into the criminal history of the person, and they just include that person into their area, into their party. Now, there was a committee report on criminalization of politics by N.N. Vohra sir. In this report, he discussed how criminal gangs flourish under care and protection of the politicians. Now, this protection is paid back to them during elections. Now, throughout the years, the politicians protect these gangsters, and during the elections, these gangsters, they give them the political parties the financial support, and that is why the system, the criminalization is going on. Okay, many times candidates themselves are gang leaders. बहुत बार तो ऐसा होता है जो कैंडिडेट्स हैं वो खुद ही गैंग लीडर्स होते हैं. तो ये सिस्टम ना हमारी कंट्री में चल रहा है, एंड दिस वाज हाईलाइटेड इन एन वोरा कमिटीज रिपोर्ट एज वेल. नाउ व्हाट कैन बी द इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स? देयर आर मेनी इश्यूज. And to name some, first is violation of rule of law. सबसे पहले तो आप rule of law को ही violate कर रहे हो यहाँ पर एक criminal इंसान को elections में या political parties में include करके. Violation of right to equality. So the person who has more amount of money is popularized by the political parties or included in the political parties in comparison to a person who is morally and value wise and ethics wise ethically very correct, but he or she lacks money, right, to give it to the party or to finance his own elections. So you are violating right to equality. Then under trial issue, here this particular maxim is used, innocent until proven guilty maxim. यहाँ पर ये यूज हो जाता है. इनोसेंट है वो तो बेचारे वोट नहीं कर सकते, बट वो इंसान जिसके खिलाफ चार्जशीट फाइल हो रखी है, जस्ट बिकॉज वो अभी गिल्टी प्रूव नहीं हुआ है तुम उसको इलेक्शन में खड़ा कर रहे हो. ये पार्शियलिटी कहाँ से आ रही है? दिस इज अ बिग मेजर पार्शियलिटी. मोरालिटी ऑफ प्रोसेस गोज डाउन. इलेक्शन का जो पूरा मोरालिटी है, जो पीछे जो पूरा कोर है, वो ही नीचे गिर जाता है. Okay, and for that election commission had given certain suggestions. For example, they said that only offences that carry an imprisonment of at least 5 years are to be considered. Okay, and the case against the candidate should have been filed at least 6 months before the scheduled elections. So only in that case the candidate will not stand in the election, and a competent court must have framed the charges. But is it happening on ground right now? Answer is no, not to a certain extent. Even the Malimat committee also said that criminal justice system should be revamped, and that is why Supreme Court has said that we are going to study this petition and we are going to find a solution to this problem right now. Coming on to the next important article, to boost spending, Center releases 1.16 lakh crore to states. So this is the case of tax devolution that you have to study for your preliminary examination. At present, your tax devolution का percentage है 41% है. What is tax devolution? This is a task of Finance Commission. Finance Commission makes recommendations using Article 280 subsection 3. And what recommendations are made for what? For distribution of funds between union and state. जो भी taxes collect हुए, whatever taxes have been collected, it has to be distributed between the union and the state. And that is recommended. How it will be, distributed? It is recommended by Finance Commission using Article 280 subsection 3. That is the meaning of tax devolution. So to boost spending, center releases 1.16 lakh crore to the states. So states को यहाँ पर 1.16 lakh crore का भी center ने financial tax devolution किया है. Now there are two kinds of devolution. If it is going on between union and states, it means vertical devolution. ठीक है, इस तरीके का union and states vertical devolution. And if it is among the states, so that is horizontal devolution. जब states के बीच में है तो horizontal हो जाता है devolution, और जब union और state के बीच में ऊपर से नीचे आ रहा है पैसा तो vertical devolution हो गया. Now here another important body that you have to study for prelims is Finance Commission, which is a quasi-judicial body. It is constituted or framed by President every 5 years. ठीक है, पहले भी हो सकता है, वैसे तो हर 5 साल में इसको बनाया जाता है. And it makes recommendations to the President. So this line is important. ये आपकी लाइन प्रीलिम्स के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. They can confuse you by writing that it makes recommendations to the Home Minister or to the Prime Minister or Cabinet of Ministers. No, it is to the President. And what are the recommendations with regards to? With regard to the principles which should decide the grants and aids as per Article 275. Then distribution of net proceeds of taxes, that is tax devolution से related भी है 280 subsection 3 के तहत ये recommendation देता है how the money has to be distributed between central states and among the states. Then certain measures needed to augment means to increase the consolidated fund of state. Okay, so that is, and to also how to distribute resources to the panchayats and municipalities, that is the local government. All of these recommendations are made by the Finance Commission to the President. The next important article, see this is a picture, right? Now this picture says that they are preparing for the Dasara festival. What is Dasara? It's like Dashera only, but in South India it's a special Dasara festival which was started by Raja Vodiyar I. This is important for prelims, art and culture के लिए important है. Basically this festival is celebrated in Karnataka. Okay, and it is also known as Nada Haba. So if they write about Nada Haba, don't get confused. It is Mysuru's Dasara festival only. It's a 10-day festival. जैसे नवरात्रि होती है ना, वही है ये दशहरा फेस्टिवल. 9 दिन नवरात्रि के और 10वां दिन होता है विजयदशमी का. And it was started by the Vodiyar dynasty and in the year 1610 at Srirangapatna. Okay, Mysore dynasty is known as the Vodiyar dynasty, that you have to remember. Now this article, as you can see, remains of cannon found in Kerala's Tali Paramba. So here the cannon has been found. Basically it belongs to the Tipu Sultan's era. So here you have to study about Tipu Sultan. यहाँ पर आपको ना टीपू सुल्तान के बारे में खुद से पढ़ना होगा. The next important article, government extends PMAY urban scheme. PMAY is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban. There are two kinds of schemes in this. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, that is rural, and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban. So basically this article is saying that the target of completing this particular scheme was 2022. But now because of pandemic, the target has been expanded. Now it will be completed by December 31st, 2024. तो 2 साल और extend कर दिया है इसको. 7 साल टोटल हो गए हैं इस योजना को. It was launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation. Mission Mode scheme में इसको launch किया था. Now this is important for prelims. Whenever you study about any yojana, any scheme, policy, program, you have to also study and learn the ministry which launches it. They can give you the name of a particular program or yojana, and they will ask you the ministry who implemented or launched it. So that is why this is very important. Please do not take it for granted. Ministries yaad karna bahut zaruri hota hai. Okay, basically this particular mission wants to construct urban, houses for urban poor, including the slum dwellers. So urban poor यहाँ पर वो हैं जो slums में रहते हैं. So to provide them rehabilitation, affordable housing, affordable toilet, water facility, etc., healthy environment, the scheme has been launched. And the most important part of the scheme is that the ownership of house will be registered in the name of the adult female member of the house or in the joint name of the husband and wife. Okay, so this is the important part. Basically, the women empowerment is also included in this particular scheme. Now, this article basically is for international relations GS paper 2 and those students who have taken a pol science and international relation as their optional subject. India Australia to sign film treaty. So basically audio visual company production treaty has been signed between India and Australia. Now Indians can go to Australia to shoot their movies, and Australians can also enter India to shoot their films or movies or serials, etc. Now this particular treaty, basically it's a kind of enabling documents which facilitate co-production of films. Both of the countries can co-produce the films, right? They can go to each other nations and they can produce the films. एक साथ मिलकर भी films बना सकते हैं, ठीक है? And basically these kind of treaties are an example of umbrella agreements wherein we have basically private, quasi-government or governmental agencies. They come together from both sides. They enter into contracts to produce films together. That is the meaning of the umbrella agreement under this treaty. India so far had signed such kind of agreements with more, not three, but other countries also. There are total 15 audio-visual co-production treaties that India has signed so far. Now, which are the other countries with which India has signed these treaties? Please let me know in the comment section. Okay. The next important article, Corbevax gets nod as precaution dose. So if you have been, vaccinated with Covaxin or Covishield, now you can get your booster dose of Corbevax also. Okay, Corbevax basically has been approved by central government. It has been approved as a booster dose, as a precaution dose. ये biological E limited की vaccine है. And basically it has also been recommended by National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization. It has become the first vaccine in India to be approved as a heterologous COVID-19 booster. Basically it can be given to those also who have taken Covishield, 2 doses of Covishield, or those also who have taken Covaxin. Basically 2 doses of Covaxin के लिए ले सकते हैं. And it can be injected after the completion of 6 months of your second dose. आपने जो second dose लिया था ना किसी भी वैक्सीन का 6 महीने या 26 वीक कंप्लीट हो गए हैं तो आप कोर्बेवैक्स लगवा सकते हैं. देखो पेटीएम के अंदर भी ना ये ऑप्शन है बूस्टर डोज लगवाने का, ठीक है. और एक आपका कोविन प्लेटफॉर्म भी होता है. तो यहाँ पर ना आपको कोविन प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाना है, वहां ये बूस्टर डोज आपको मिल रहा है, वहां जाके आप अपने आप को रजिस्टर करें एंड यू कैन गेट योर कोर्बेवैक्स बूस्टर डोज. ऑलराइट, नाउ कोर्बेवैक्स हैज बीन मैन्युफैक्चर्ड बाय हैदराबाद बेस्ड बायोलॉजिकल ई लिमिटेड एंड इट हैज अ रिसेप्टर बाइंडिंग डोमेन प्रोटीन सब यूनिट वैक्सीन. तो बेसिकली ये एक रिसेप्टर बाइंडिंग डोमेन प्रोटीन सब यूनिट वैक्सीन है. Basically, it will trigger the immune response by using spike protein. फ्रेगमेंट या स्पाइक प्रोटीन का यूज करके ये आपकी इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स को ट्रिगर करेगा. और जैसे ही आपका इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स ट्रिगर हो जाता है, देन इट विल प्रोड्यूस एंटीबॉडी. Okay, and white blood cells will try to fight the infection, and basically it will reduce virus's ability to cause any serious damage to your body. That is the benefit of Corbevax. Okay, so please take your booster doses. अगर आपको healthy रहना है, disease spread नहीं करना और खुद को भी protected रखना है, तो फटाफट से आज ये Corbevax का या अपना booster dose जो है वो ले लीजिए. This was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you really enjoyed it, do let me know in the comment section. PDF of this lecture will be uploaded on our Telegram channel, Simplifying UPSC with Ease. The link is given below in the description box.